Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the third week of Cars 3 Diecast reviews. Today we have Hank Weathers, who is the Dinoco racer number 42. Of course, on my last Cars 3 Diecast review of Combustor, I had a poll and you guys voted for which car you want me to review next for Cars 3. I believe I had 5 options and 80% of the people who voted for Hank Weathers. I believe he got around 700 votes, so thank you guys so much for voting. And of course, as always, we have another poll for my next weekend's review of a Cars 3 diecast. And now, unfortunately, I haven't received any new Cars 3 cars this week, which means the options are pretty much the same. However, I am adding the Cars 3 Chick Hicks to the poll because I'm almost 100% positive I will receive him before next Saturday. Now, if I don't, then I'll have to go to the second choice. So keep that in mind when voting, because I may not receive him before next Saturday. I should, because literally it's in the metro facility of Chicago. I live in a southwest suburb of Chicago, and for some reason it has been just chilling up there in the metro facility for the past week pretty much. And same thing with all of my other Cars 3 cars I haven't received yet. They're up in the customs facility, so that's a little bit more understandable, but for some reason it's just still in the metro facility, which makes no sense because you can literally just take it from there, bring it to my post office, and then of course put out for delivery. So a little bit confused there, a little bit disappointed as well, but I will put that option there. I'm sure it's gonna win because everyone loves Chick Hicks in that kind of weird way. But anyway, thank you very much for voting. And if you don't know who the poll options are, then I'll briefly explain to you guys right now. So here we have Brick Yardley, aka Violin number 24. Next is Tank Coat number 36, who's unnamed, just like Combustor number 11. And then we have Bobby Swift, aka Octane Game number 19. And the one and only, not a racer, Smokey, a brand new character in Cars 3 who will have some relationship to Doc Hudson. So that'll be awesome to see. But today, we are reviewing Hank Weathers, which is an awesome car, of course, most likely the son of the king. So let's dive right into a review now. Of course, we don't really know where he'll appear in the movie yet. I haven't seen him in a trailer. He may have appeared very quickly racing by, in those shots, but we can't really know for sure because all the racers are going by so fast, but I'm sure he'll probably appear in an upcoming trailer. Now, as for his release, we know that he'll be released as a single on May 1st, 2017, because that's the official release for all the Cars 3 diecast, at least for the first wave of them. And I'll explain in a second how I got this guy before May 1st. And then we know that he will have a cab, which obviously equates to a hauler as well, but on the list, I believe there's only a Hank Weathers cab. Now, of course, this also leads into the discussion of Strip Weathers Jr. Is Strip Weathers Jr. a separate character from Hank Weathers? He might be, he may not be, but according to Take 5 today, they list them as 2 separate characters. Now, maybe this is a mistake. I don't really know, but it's definitely something to consider that they are actually the same car, the same character, because it just kind of seems weird to me that there's Hank Weathers and then there's Strip Weathers Jr. because most likely, like I said, Hank is the son of the king and Strip Weathers Jr. would also most likely be the son of the king. Now, maybe the king had 2 sons, but like I said, this is all speculation. We really don't know anything, just names. And of course, these diecasts here. So I'll probably make a speculation video on them in the future. So, I'm just briefly talking about that in this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But Strip Weathers Jr. is getting a hauler. Hank Weathers, I believe, is only listed for a cab. But, it's pretty much half of the hauler there. So whatever. Let's move on to how I got this guy. Now, as always, I got him from eBay seller from China, Snapdragon Toys, a highly recommended seller. I really do appreciate what they, I don't really know how to say this, but I believe that the seller is a she. So I'm just going to use that pronoun. I know I've been avoiding that in previous videos, but whatever. I believe she is just, a great seller. She always wraps the cars nice, and she does call them used, which is accurate. Some of them do have some paint scuffs, but I don't really mind. I think I got this guy for $20. The link for him will be in the description if he's in stock or if he's not in stock. I think he is, but he may not be because these are just so popular. The seller, she is selling them just so quickly, which is great for her. And just so you guys know, I know a couple people mentioned this on my Jackson Storm video. They are completely legit. This is completely Mattel legit. They are not fakes or anything. I mean, let's take a look at the base here. You can see all the proper coating. And now one might argue, well, RC Cars 5, they could forge the base. Yeah, they could, but come on. These are legit. Snapdragon Toys is a very legitimate seller. I trust her, so I'm pretty sure that they are legit. I'm actually confident they are legit. So, no one please argue that. I mean, you can have your own opinion, but they're pretty much guaranteed to be legit because, this Jackson Storm just looks amazing. Of course, there are those scuffs there because these are seconds or rejects, and that's how Snapdragon is able to get them because they aren't the ones that are approved to go out to the stores. So that's my little rant about that. And now let's just get into the review now. So of course, seems like Hank Weathers is taking on the mantle of the Dinoco racer. Now, I'm sure you guys know what Dinoco is. It's a fuel company, I think. Yeah, it's a gas company, oil, all that. Dinoco Oil, of course. What am I talking about? Dinoco Oil Company there. And so, in the first Cars movie, the King represented Dinoco on the track. Of course, the King then retired in that movie. And obviously, Chick Hicks didn't get the Dinoco sponsorship like he wanted. The Queen only dreamt they did ahead of time because he was afraid that Chick would. And that's where this paint job comes from. And initially, Lightning McQueen also wanted the Dinoco sponsorship. But at the end of the movie, he decided to stay with Russ E. So that left us with a big question mark for who the Dinoco racer would be. Now, I'm pretty sure that Hank here wouldn't start racing immediately after that in 2007. I strongly doubt that. If you guys have some more evidence or proof leading toward that, let me know down below. But he seems pretty young, so I feel like he came into play a couple years after that, maybe 2010, around the event of the World Grand Prix, 2011, somewhere around there. And that's where he is now in Cars 3, maybe like 4 years into his career. So, I don't know who the Dinoco racer was in the meantime. It could have been no one, or it's probably irrelevant to the storyline of Cars 3. Now, there's another layer to this. It just gets so complicated because we really don't know anything about the plot of Cars 3 besides McQueen crashing and then trying to get back into the league. But there has been a Cruz Ramirez preview, which of course is McQueen's trainer, with a Dinoco paint job number 51. So it's like, wait a second here, what's going on? And so it's like, yeah, I agree. I don't know what's going on. 2 Dinoco racers? I don't know. Maybe Hank is the Dinoco racer at the beginning of Cars 3 and then Cruz takes over toward the end and Strip Weathers Jr. comes in there if he's his own separate character as well. I don't know. It's so complicated. I really need to do a speculation video on this. But as always, let me know in the comments what you guys think because this is a really deep, I guess you could say, discussion and I just don't really know anything. And so hopefully we can see this Dinoco concept revealed in pictures and another trailer, hopefully very soon into the future. So now, I know I keep postponing this, but now let's get into the review here of Hank. There's just so much to talk about with this whole Dinoco idea in Cars 3 because it took a break in Cars 2. So there's definitely a lot catching up to do for Cars 3 now. So on the hood here, we have the classic Dinoco logo with the dinosaur there, the T-Rex. And then on the side here, we can see a Lightyear on the fender there. And then, of course, we have Lightyear tires with blue rims, not silver like the King had there. On the side here, we can see the basic sponsors on all of the stock cars like Bobby Swift. They all have the same exact additional sponsors here on the side. Of course, Piston Cup, Violin, Revolting, RPM, Nitro, Octane Gain, and Clutch Aid. Now, thanks to some of you guys in the comments, you guys let me know what this arrow means on my Jackson Storm video right there, I asked what that yellow arrow is, and you guys told me it's to indicate for the pit crew where to, I don't know, where to lift the car up at, where to change oil, or something. Probably not that, but it's something as an indicator to the pit crew. So thank you guys for letting me know what that arrow is for. And then we have the exhaust pipes, of course, 42. Now, there's been a big discussion about this as well. I know a lot of you guys think that, whoever the Disney, Pixar, whatever, the creators, they should have went with 44 for Hank Weathers because it's a step. I don't really know how people describe this, but I would agree 44, kind of like the next generation rather than going before 43, something like that. I would have to agree, but maybe Strip Weathers Jr.'s 44. Again, we don't really know yet. I'm sure a lot of this will be revealed in Cars 3. Then we have the Dinoco logo right there. There's the gas cap. Very similar in a sense to the King there. On the roof here, we can see 42 again. It says Hank Weathers there on the roof edges, both sides. I love on the top here how it fades into a darker blue. We got Dinoco back there. On the back, more Dinoco 42. There's that black thing. I do not know what that is. Kind of looks like that camera that was on Sidewall Shine in the first Cars movie. Here's the base if you're interested. It's actually really, really detailed, so I like that a lot. Very, very nice, even though we got all this other stuff on here of stamps and whatnot and codes. And that's pretty much it for Hank. He's got a nice little smile there with his grill. We got 42 over here, which is actually a new thing for most of the Piston Cup racers in Cars 3. They have their numbers below the headlights there. As you can see, there it is for Bobby Swift. It's on Lightning McQueen, who is showing up in Chicago for me right now. I would have had him by now, but he's up there in Chicago. So, moving on to comparisons now. So far, this guy here is a unique model. There aren't any other Piston Cup racers that share his design. Bobby Swift right here, you can see that he's wider, and Hank's also a little bit longer. So, you can rule him out along with Tank Coat and Combustor because they are the same model as Bobby Swift. Now, the other Piston Cup racer model that I have from Cars 3 is Brick Yardley, who's kind of similar, but he's actually thinner and a little bit longer than Hank here, so you can see the difference there. Also, a little bit sharper look in the front here, a little bit more angular versus the curved look here on Hank. Now, let's go to some Cars 1 racers. I feel like the most similar car to him is Dale Earnhardt Jr. from Cars 1. Now, first of all, their expressions are very similar. They both have that smile, very generic smile on them. Very similar eyelid expression there as well. They have that small spoiler in the back. Now, Dale is a little bit bigger, so that's the difference there. But they are very, very similar, so I definitely wanted to point that out. So that's pretty much all for Hank and Dale. Moving on to some other comparisons, and then we'll call it a day for this video. Gotta show Dinoco and McQueen once again in this video because both are Dinoco racers. Even though technically McQueen never became a full-on Dinoco racer, he just dreamt it. And same thing with Chick Hicks right here. So let's line up all the Dinoco racers. Oh, that looks awesome. Look at that, guys. We got the King over here. Then we got, most likely, his son, Hank. Then we got Lightning McQueen and Chick Hicks. All four will be in Cars 3 in some capacity, of course. McQueen's the main character, Hank's a new character, the King and Chick will be returning, and I'll probably be reviewing Chick Hicks from Cars 3 next weekend. I really hope so. I mean, it's just up there, just, a couple miles away. I wish I could go and grab it. But anyway, getting back on topic, here are all the Dinoco racers. All are very different. Of course, you can see that Hank has a little bit of a lighter blue color to him, but all do have that same Dinoco logo, even though it looks like it has changed a little bit from 11 years. The font looks to be a little bit lighter, not as bold, and that's really the only difference I can spot. Let's get a father and son shot here alone. Man, they look awesome together. What do you guys think? Wow, I really hope that Hank here is the King's son, otherwise that'd be kind of embarrassing, but everyone is saying that. And I must agree, I don't know what else it could be. Like, what else could he be in relation to Strip Weathers? Could it be a younger brother? No, I don't know why they would do that. I think it's definitely his son, but we don't really know how father and son type things work in the Cars universe. Like, you know, that's stuff that I don't want to get into right now because it's such a deep conversation and we don't really have any concrete answers. So now that's pretty much all for the Hank Weathers review. I hope you guys did enjoy. And before we sign out, let's assemble the Dinoco crew here. We got Hank Weathers' mom, I would assume, you know, if the king in fact is his dad, then Mrs. the King, Linda over here, would be his mom. And unfortunately, Linda Petty, which is the person who voiced Mrs. the King here in Cars 1, passed away. So I don't know what they're going to do with her in Cars 3. She probably passed away in the Cars universe as well because she was based on a real life person. I really doubt that they would recast her because it just kind of be disrespectful to, you know, her memory, because then you get this other person in there and it just taints the memory of her playing Mrs. the King. So here we go. I didn't bring out the hauler because, you know, it's gonna be a different hauler. I mean, we have the semi here, plus that's a pretty big thing to bring out. We got Damage the King back there. We got a Metallic the King over here as well. Maybe they'll release a Metallic Hank Weathers one day. That'd be really cool. So, thank you guys very much for watching. I really do appreciate your viewership. And thank you guys very much for watching. As always, hope you guys did enjoy. And don't forget to vote in the top right hand corner for which Cars 3 diecast you want me to review next. I'll see you guys next time for another review. Bye now.